Good evening, Brownsville AOB members and BISD educators. This is Veronica Borrego, your AOB president here. And next to me, I have this beautiful lady, Miss Ida.
Hello, everyone.
Tonight is a very important night. It is also one of our first virtual deliveries of this type of information. As you all know, if you all watched our show last week, Thursday and Friday, we had our candidate forum, our first virtual candidate forum. We do always have forums, but they are usually held in a building and people are able to come in and sit in front of, and we have the candidates usually in a panel. And we ask them the questions and give them time to respond. But this time, because of the pandemic and COVID, we had to do it virtually. We also had to do our ballots virtually because we wanted to make sure that people were staying safe and staying home. And as you know, AOB advocates for that. And so we made sure to get that to all of our members. And part of our directions were for the ballots to be submitted only one time. However, we still had to clean up the list as there were some that were duplicates. And we did have also some that were non-members that we had to remove from the list. And so after cleaning up the list, we are able to give you our results.
Yes, and it was interesting. This is new, just like everything else that's going on out there. This has been new to us as well, and it's been very interesting. But we do appreciate everybody's patience but everybody's participation. We did get some good results, some good feedback from the forum. We tried to make it as easy as possible for everyone to be able to have access to it. Mm-hmm. We made it available on our Facebook page. We made it available on our website, which is, you can see below, it says myaobe.com. And the purpose of that is we want to keep our community, not just our members, but the community informed as to the candidates that are running and are putting themselves out there. It's important to get informed, and we know it's not easy with everything we have going on right now, especially back to school. That has been so overwhelming and with so many issues. But, we're trying to make it as easy as possible so you get to know your candidates. And we made it where it comes from our membership. We don't decide who it is that will be majority, who it is that is going to be endorsed. That is completely from our members. So it was very interesting to see how that came out, and those are the results that we're going to be going over today for the different places that we will be endorsing.
Yes. Okay. And I am working on a new computer, so bear with me if I make a mistake. It might take me a little bit of time to go back and forth, but I've been playing with it for about 30 minutes. So hopefully I don't mess up. Do you want me to bring up the slides already, Ms. Ida?
Yeah, if we can bring up the charts where it shows the different percentages of the different positions.
Yes, let me bring that up. Okay. Can we see that?
Yes. So as you can see, for position 2, 76% of the votes were for Frankie Olivo. And we had 13% for Mr. Jaime Diaz, and 11% were for no endorsement. As you know, we have to give that option as well. If you did not feel comfortable with the candidates that appeared on the forum, that is your right. But like we mentioned before, we gave equal opportunity to every candidate that signed up to be able to come and talk to our members and let them know how they feel about the different issues that our members are concerned about.
Now,
So
I do want to, sorry to interrupt you, Ida, but I do want to make a comment about that because we did receive a few messages through the easy texting and some emails questioning why there were candidates missing. And so I just want to make sure to make it very clear that we provided every single candidate the same opportunity. Everybody received the same invitation, the same email, the same information for the show, the same questionnaire, the same deadline. Every single candidate received it. It was their choice to submit or to not submit. But on the information that was sent, it was stated if they did not submit the questionnaire and did not participate in the forum, they would not be put on our ballot, our personal AOBE ballot for endorsement. There was several concerns with that. And so I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood and that it was very clear that it was the candidate's choice to not participate. It was not that we did not offer them the opportunity.
correct. And the reason that we cannot put them on the ballot is because we need to know how they feel about the different issues that are being brought up from our members. We can,
and that was stated very clearly in the email and all the information that was sent to them. Mm-hmm. So they were aware of that.
Yes. We can't, afford as an association to support or consider the support of a candidate that is not willing to share their views and stance on different issues. And, where they're just going to be maybe considered for endorsement just because of who they are or things like that. We need to know and we need their commitment on where they stand with these different issues that this district is facing at this time. Yes. And because we've had such an alarming amount of concerns from our members with things going on in BISD, we feel it is important more than ever for these candidates to make it known publicly where they stand on these issues and what their plans are. So with all of that being said, that is, again, why we mentioned that only certain candidates made it on the ballot, but everybody was given the same opportunity to participate. Yes. So with that, for position 2, as you can see, the endorsed candidate from AOBE will be Frankie Olivo. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh. Sorry. See?
There we go. Show it off.
All right. So position 3, we have 16% for Philip Cowan, 16% for Ms. Argelia Miller, 25% for Vero Cardenas, and 43% for no endorsement. So for position 3, we have no endorsement.
That is correct. And they're telling me that the comments are not coming through on the side panel, so we apologize for that. This is still fairly new to us, so be patient with us and try to continue to submit your comments, but I don't know why they're not coming through on the sidebar. So if you have questions, though, you can continue to try to submit them, and hopefully they will start to come through.
Pop up. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Position 5, we have 8% no endorsement, 18% for Ms. Daniela Lopez Valdez, and 74% for Erasmo Castro. That's position 5. In position 6, we have, sorry. In position 6, we have 12% no endorsement, and very close, 43% Marisa Leal, and 45% Mr. Joe Rodriguez. And then the last slide, position 7, 23% no endorsement, and 77% Carlos Elizondo.
So congratulations to those candidates. We did reach out to all to these candidates at around 5 o'clock. I know it was very short notice, but we did reach out and we did ask them if they were going to be available just to appear on the show tonight. We did not mention what it was going to be about, or we did not mention that they had received the endorsement or anything, but we wanted to just talk to them for a little bit, and also we can entertain any questions from the audience if there's anything for them. But we did get them all to be able to appear, so we thank them for making time with the short notice to make themselves available, especially when everybody's out campaigning. But again, these results were very interesting. Some were they weren't as close as we were thinking that some of these were going to be. And every member was given a electronic ballot. It was sent out if some requested it because it didn't go through via their phone. But every member had the opportunity to vote. And that is very important because that is your voice and it is your right to be able to support the candidate you feel is more fit according to what you've seen out there or what you saw at the forum that we had last week. So that is very important because I guess it was very obvious some people were more prepared than others for the forum, but still at that, you had the opportunity to voice your vote and make it count for the endorsement. So with that, do you want to bring the people on, the candidates on to see?
For some reason, I cannot get to Mr. Elizondo's. I don't know why. Hold on. Like he's like under where it says mute and stop cam, and I can't reach him. Let me try.
Do you need him to disconnect and reconnect again, maybe?
No, it's the way that they fall in the. So there's like a line, right? It's everybody's there, and then he's like right underneath me, but I can't click.
Have him disconnect and reconnect again, and see if it maybe puts him in a different place, and you're able to. Yeah.
Can you do that, Mr. Elizondo? Can you disconnect and then reconnect and see if it moves you up on the line? Yeah, he already disconnected. Let's see if it moves him up. That's so weird.
That's technology.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nope, it's still doing the same thing.
Okay, maybe we have too many people on the screen. You can.
No, we have enough. We have room. It's just, hold on. Let me try to get in from my other computer, my old one, and see if I can add him like that. Sorry, guys, technology.
You're fine.
Sorry, Mr. Elizondo. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Why don't you try removing me though? Try removing me and see if that shifts it.
No, it won't. You stay in the same. You stay in the same line. Hold on, my computer's turning on.
Sorry about that, guys.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I'd want to start talking to y'all, but
But we
I
have
have to
Mr. Elizondo kind of in timeout.
Well, you know, some of us are very shy, so we might not have a lot of words.
I know. Some of us can't stay silent.
Oh my God! Come on. Silence. Oh my goodness. No bueno.
Okay.
I know. I'm trying. I'm trying. Sorry. For some reason, this screen is different. Well, I mean, it's a different computer, right? But it has it like really expanded, and I don't know if I can maybe make that smaller.
No pressure.
I know. I'm already sweating. And as you can see, my old computer takes forever, which is why I had to go buy a new one.
Yes.
This, I'm good at other things, not just this.
Hey, I am so sorry. We were on the phone with tech support to figure it out.
And guess what? My computer still hasn't turned on, okay? That's why I got it.
So, gentlemen, this is a perfect example of what our educators are having to deal with out there. So, again, there's a reason for everything that we do, but it's so you guys can know what our employees are facing out there through distance learning. So,
Am I frozen?
dear Lord.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
So now I'm frozen. I don't know what happened.
No,
You're
you're not
back.
frozen.
Oh, I'm not? Oh, okay.
No, you're not.
All right.
So, but until she gets it there together, on behalf of AOBE, we want to congratulate each and every one of you guys for first of all participating and doing every part of the process of being a endorsed candidate. Not every candidate was willing to do that, to put themselves out there, willing to face the hard questions. So we commend you guys on your commitment and dedication to do that. And our membership has spoken, and it showed you guys by majority to be the endorsed candidates for AOBE. So with all of that being said, we say congratulations to you. And this is where the fun begins, though. But we'll go ahead and give each of you an opportunity to say a few words. And then we're going to go over a little bit more of what the endorsement from AOBE means to us and for our members. Okay, so we can start with place 2, Mr. Frankie Olivo, if you want to say a few words.
Of course. Thank you, ladies, for your time. AOBE, the organization, thank you for this endorsement. It is my honor to represent your organization for Place 2. I think it's very important for each and every candidate to take each and every opportunity to allow the community to hear our platform, our experience, and what we have to bring to BISD. We see how so much change is needed. There's so much uncertainty coming with this new year, with this with this COVID-19 virus that we're dealing with. I appreciate the time that you have allowed me to discuss a little bit about my platform, how I see the district, and what I could bring to BISD for Place 2, to the teachers, to the members of AOBE. I appreciate your confidence, your vote of confidence in me. I want you to be assured that I will be accessible, I will be transparent, and I will use any platform there is out there to make sure that your questions, your concerns, your suggestions, and even your criticism are adhered to. I will make myself available to each and every one of you, because that is the role of a board member, to be available to each and every one of our community members so we can hear what is going on in the front lines. It is very important for a board member to have very good listening skills. And after that, we need to be vocal and we need to take action. Thank you so much, AOB, for your time, your consideration, and your voting confidence in myself. I am very appreciative of it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Congratulations. Now we can move to, well, Place 3 had no endorsement. That's what the majority chose. So we have to respect that. So we will move on to Place 5, which would be Mr. Erasmo Castro. Do you want to say a few words?
Just a few. And again, to AOBE, thank you so very, very much for your vote of confidence and for this great honor. I accept the endorsement, with very humbled heart and with a promise not only to our AOBE members, but to all our students, all our staff, and our community as a whole. We will do our best to continue to be that voice. We will do our best to continue to listen to your concerns, and we will do our best to take action where action needs to be taken. There is nothing more important to me than to bring back the board to truly serve our people. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you, and looking forward to November the 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we will go to Place 6, which the endorsement goes to Coach Joe Rodriguez. So, Mr. Rodriguez, if you'd like to say a few words.
Thank you for hosting me. Thank you for the landslide election to be a member of this. I won by 2%, and I want to congratulate Marisa for her efforts and for putting her hat in the ring. Member of the AOBE, all members, thank you for voting. That's a very important, probably the most important election that ever come within your lifetime on November 3rd. And it's not only for the school district, which is very important also, but for the general election. My platform consists of several things. I mean, I want to think out of the box, and I want the district to think out of the box. Since 1918, we have never faced anything like this. The one peril that we face is to let our kids have confidence that we're doing the right thing, okay? and we have to give confidence in my platform. But first is the safety of the kids, the students, and the safety of all employees in BISD. Secondly, the district previous board in 2014 when we passed TRE election and we also raised taxes 11 cents. We made a promise that after 5 years that in the construction of a class of schools that had not been touched in 70 and 80 years, we made a promise that within 5 years we would revert back the 11 and a half cents that we raised. So that's part of my platform to meet that. Um, and then a very important thing is fine arts, and we were well on our way to doing fine arts and changing things around because research has shown that students stay in school for two things: co-curricular and extracurricular. Extracurricular is everything outside of the school day, which are your athletics, swimming, and everything else involved. Could be one act play or everything else. But co-curricular, which is the fine arts, belongs in the school day. And I will tell you this: people may not know this, but in the TRE expenditures, we spent the same amount of money, which was in the 8 million to 8.1 million, the same amount of money in fine arts as we did in athletics. And we put turf. We built a new scoreboard, which we had a junior high scoreboard at Sam Stadium, which I call the Coliseum of Texas, really, in Brownsville, located in Brownsville. We bought a new scoreboard, and we added a sound system that cost us, and that total amount spent on the turf and all those things was at $8.8 million. The fine arts that we built at Porter and Pace came to about 8.1 million. So we spent the equal amount. We gave the same amount of justice to both people. The other thing I want to say, I'm sorry. The other thing I want to say is I have never been complicit in any wrongdoing in my experience as a trustee. And I come as the elder statesman because right now we're in the worst challenge that we ever. We should, for example, think out of the box and bring forth things. Now, when you're dealt with lemons in your life, why not make lemonade? I'm telling you something. Why not be the leader in Texas to develop a program of virtual learning in the first grade? They already know how to play games. Every youngster that has the access to games, and we want to make sure that all our students have access to everything that everybody else has. And just think out of the box and say begin a learning program that all the state will emulate to copy what we do. Let's be out there and be on the forefront. I want to thank you for your vote, and I promise that when elected, my whole concern is to be the welfare of the students, the teachers and employees, and the three other essentials that are very important to us. I will make one point to say this. I know that the danger in being the elder statesman of the deal, but if my son can come from California and give 10 days of his life in the dangerous situation that we have here, he's an ER critical care doctor, and he would come and see me at the house, stay about 10 yards, 12 yards away when I fed him supper in between the 6 yards and so forth. At the end, before he left, I would ask him how it go. First, he says, man, it's tough or whatever. It's really a challenge or whatever. And he said, we try to get it organized because he promised his classmate, Filimon Vela, that he would come down, and he did at his own nickel, etc. And this is what he said. He said, Dad, they have 10 times more problems than we do in California. And he's in San Francisco. So that's, if he had the guts enough to give 10 days of his life as a ER critical care doctor to our patients that we have here, I think man enough to step forward and take the danger. Thank you. God bless, and thank you for everything and all your confidence.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you and congratulations. Okay, and now for place 7, the endorsed candidate is Mr. Carlos Elizondo. So if you want to say a few words.
Yes, I want to say first and foremost, thank you to everybody, on this forum. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of it, and thank you for the endorsement. I mean, it really, really brings a breath of fresh air to this campaign that we're running. And not only that, I don't have a lot to say, but I do have something very important. It's time this new board that's coming in November 3rd makes the staff the priority and not the school board. That's all I have to say. BIS staff has to be priority. The school board has to be second. Simple as that. That's what we're going to bring in November the 3rd. Bring it back to your the staff, the children, and give them the opportunity to do what they do best, is educate. Thank you for the endorsement. I'm ready and willing to start the fight and continue the fight that we've been doing. And we are going to win November the 3rd. With all your help, your endorsement, your prayers, and your encouragement, we will be here November the 4th to start a new day in BISD. Thank you so much. My name is Carlos Elizondo. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And congratulations as well. So we thank you. And like I mentioned earlier, this is where the fun begins, and this is where the work starts to take off. So with that being said, we're going to go over really quick. We do know that each of you submitted your questionnaires as part of the process, and we thank you for that. So for anybody viewing the show, you can see it and find it on our website, which is myaobe.com. And under the 2020 candidates, you can find their questionnaires and how they answered their questionnaires there. But besides that, we have a commitment form as a endorsed candidate of AOBE, which we will be going over with you, and it just targets some of the main issues. It does not mean those are the only issues we have, but these are the hottest issues that we're dealing with right now. And we want to go over that and get a commitment from you that this is, so our membership will know how you feel about these different issues, and we can go over them and also get a little bit of feedback from you. And then if you agree, you can sign the commitment form, and we will upload that on our website as well. So it shows your commitment on the issues that you're willing to tackle on, because, we've seen in the past, not saying at Brownsville, but I'm just saying we have seen some board members that can promise the moon and the stars while they're campaigning, but then they forget what they get in there for. And just like everything, our membership, they're willing to commit to help getting you elected. And we need a commitment back that our candidates, once elected, will be there to help and support them with the issues that we've been seeing at Brownsville. So, gentlemen, if you don't mind, if we can proceed to go over the form.
Of course.
If we can get that there we go.
Okay.
So excited for this work. Crossing my fingers.
Okay. So for our commitment form, what we are encouraging is that we work together, right? And so the title of our commitment form is In Solidarity with AOBE. And in solidarity, because it is mutual support within groups. And so we want to make sure that you are supporting us as we are supporting you as a whole. So I'm going to go ahead and read over it. If elected, I am committed to advocate for better health and safety procedures in BISD, equitable enforcement across the school district for working and FFCRA leave, equitable and appropriate PPE for all staff. And of course, one of the main things that we've been pushing is that our nurses receive the appropriate PPE, especially because they will be the ones that will be for a longer period of time with people who are sick or students who are sick. And so a mask, it does not suffice for them. So that's one of the things that we're really pushing for, and that we are wanting our candidates to work for as well. Implementing proper COVID-19 contact tracing. And that is just so that we know when and where people have had COVID. As many of us know, it's not being reported by campuses. And so there are people still reporting to campuses where there are positives. And we're not even sure that they're being disinfected correctly, especially when they don't have the materials. They have the machine, but they don't have the liquid to do the disinfecting. So knowing when and where who has and all of that will help us track uh, people that have had it and things like that. Ida, do you want to add on that?
Yes, if you don't mind. On the contact tracing, that has been a big concern for us. We have been addressing that with some of administration because, to be very honest on that, there is no contact tracing that is being done at this time. And that is very alarming because that isn't helping any of this spreading of the virus. They're taking too long to respond and to notify the different people in the departments. So we cannot afford to have a few days going by without the rest of the department or the people in the building informed that the secretary or their coworker was positive or was in contact with somebody that was positive. So there is no contact tracing that is being done, and that is very alarming. So we want to make sure that this is going to be something that's going to be enforced. We don't know how long this plans to be around. We all hope and pray that there's a vaccine soon that will show us some positive results. But with this, we need to be prepared to what we're facing, and we need to do everything possible. And there isn't any contact tracing, and 6 months into this pandemic, we cannot still be here in this situation where there's no contact tracing being enforced.
Yes. Proper representation on the BISD task force. As we all know, there's 2 or 3 people on the task force. There is not any representation from teachers, from nurses, from custodians, from transportation. We have no medical personnel on the task force. And so, we really want to make sure that we have proper representation. And if we could be included in that, that would be great. We as an association that is affiliated with the state and the national have so many resources that we could offer the district, but we can't give them to them unless we're included in that. So for sure, making sure that we have medical personnel, doctors that have been working with this pandemic to advise us on what is best and what is safe. Do you want to add anything on that, Ida?
Yes, and I think everyone has heard about that there's just not proper representation on there. Just 3 people cannot be making the best decisions for the district because they're not aware of how the decisions that they make at the top, how it impacts all the way to the campus and things like that. So those are the issues that we're having with the task force. And if I may go back to the first one, the issue we're having on the equitable enforcement across the school district for working remotely, that is a huge issue that we're having at the district, where this person is approved to work remotely at campus A, but at campus B, the exact same position is not being allowed to work remotely. So it's not being equitable across the board, and that is not right. We're discriminating against people. So they need to develop something where we are going to be fair and treat all employees the same way. and that is not what is being done. And one of the issues that we have as well is that the employees that need to be working remotely are not being allowed to work remotely if they can do their job remotely. So that's the issue with that. And with the FFCRA leave, that's the Response Act leave. Not everybody is getting the same information. It's not equitable across the board, and there's big issues there. There is very big concerns because these are things that they're entitled to, and we need to be as fair as possible across the board. So these are under safety. These are the things that are the biggest concerns. There is other issues, but these are the things that we need a commitment that we're going to have the support if elected to address these issues.
Yes. And then we're moving into respect at the workplace. This is a really, really big deal. Hold every administrator accountable to treat every employee with dignity and respect. Now, I know there was comments made about how this is not true and there's no retaliation in the district and that employees have nothing to fear. There is plenty of it. And we see it as an association because we get maybe 90% to 95% of our calls want to stay anonymous. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is they're afraid of what will happen because they spoke up. So retaliation is very, very real in this district. Aside from that, then you have the higher ups also retaliating against the lower ones. And so it is a big deal. I know that we heard that was not the case in this district. It is. We see it daily as an association when we hear concerns. We have people crying with us. And then it breaks our heart because we can't really do much about it because they don't want them to know that it was them. And the only way to bring it to light is for them to know that it was them. And so it's kind of like you hear them out and then you just wait and see whenever they're ready. But it's really hard, because they're afraid. And so people need to understand that needs to be something that people are held accountable for, and that there should be no fear in a workplace. People need to be treated with dignity and with respect. The next one, respect and consideration for employees' input on issues directly impacting change. This is a really big one, especially right now with technology and all the changes and the platforms and different things. And so, we have, for example, last year we were using Zoom, right? And so this year we're using Google Meets, and Google Meets has a lot of restrictions, and it doesn't allow for staff or students to download certain things on the BISD devices. And if I download something that's an add-on or an extension, my kids won't have access to it unless they download it. And so it's just kind of like, but had we been asked as educators what we preferred, we probably would have preferred Zoom. It was easier. We could share the screen better. We could see the students while we were sharing the screen. We could mute them. We could block the chat. There was so many things that we could do that were safety with the Zoom that we can't do with Google Meets. And so, that's one of the things that's just one of the things that the employees should have been asked about. And just to know that from now to the end of September, I believe, is Google Meets. And then we have to go in and we have to learn Schoology. So that's another, it's tough on the kids, it's tough on the teachers, and it's tough on the parents. So, a consideration as to what that is going to do to everybody involved would have been nice, that if we would have been asked, but we were not asked. The last one, do you want to add anything on that, Ida?
Yes, she's being very polite on that. That one was a big issue. Big problem, and I'm very frustrated with that one because I can't even say how many phone calls, how many emails I have gotten on that. We're on our second week of school, and our teachers are so tired and burnt out because of the programs, the platforms that they chose to use, and the problems that they're having. It just shows that the proper research was not done, and we cannot be doing that to our teachers. That is just very wrong. So it's things like that that are upsetting because they don't take or consider any of their input. And when you have frontline people that are going to be using it, uh, their input should be considered for things like this. But that is something that this district, especially this current administration, needs to work on, because they don't take input from anyone, and that is not right. That's not productive.
No. Equitable compensation plan. This is another big one, Ida. Compensating appropriately all employees in BISD. This is something that has, thankfully, we were able to put a pause on the whole compensation plan being approved because it was a mess. And I mean, we did the free salary review for many of our members, and there are so many discrepancies, and it is beyond not equitable. So, this is a really, really big concern for many. And so, this is one of the things that we're really going to be pushing as well, because I mean, when you have employees that have been working for over 20 years, earning 50 cents more than somebody who's coming in for a year, there's a problem. I
Yes.
don't have anything to add for that one.
That one we do have. We're trying to get enough of our members that we can have issues with, and see if we're going to move forward with a class action grievance, or see what we can do, because the compensation plan is not an equitable one, especially for your tenured employees. So something it has got to give on that. I don't know if it's being implemented wrong, or what the case might be, but that is something that we are definitely looking at. And again, we need to make sure that once elected, that there's going to be support to be able to look at that, review that, and see what can be adjusted to make sure every employee is properly compensated for the years of service with BISD.
Correct. Yes, that's a big deal. Do we have any questions or anything from our candidates?
I'd like to step forward and say some words.
Yes, sir.
Well, in the first place, nobody should be treated bad. We're all the same. We all do a good job out here. Otherwise, we wouldn't be an A school. So everybody, it begins down at the floor with the janitors, with everybody else, and they should all be treated with dignity.
Exactly.
And that's I don't appreciate that to happen, and it needs to be adjusted as soon as possible. When we get in, I'll sure be make sure that nobody thinks they're better than anybody else. I remember as a 12th grader going to high school, that's the one thing my mother said. She says, remember, you're no better than anybody else, but nobody else is better than you. And that's stuck in my mind all my life. And that's the way I treat things. Another thing I want to say, emphasize about my candidacy, that I've never been complicit to any wrongdoing. I think I said that before, and that's important at this day and time, that we don't, fault the trust or fail in the parents and the taxpayers, their trust in us as candidates. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, I will say that I agree with everything that y'all have pointed out as concerns. One of the reasons I think that I opted to run for the BISD board was because I have heard the same concerns, and I could easily say that they are not only AOBE's concerns, They are my concerns, and I want to completely believe that they are my community's concerns. So again, thank you for um, putting them down and making us commit to them.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I just have to agree to all the bullet points that you have on there. I'm sure there's more than that, but those are the priority right now, especially with the safety of our employees. So I thank you for bringing those up. I'm sure if the current board would have done what they're supposed to be doing, then you wouldn't have those concerns on there. But feel free and rest assured that those concerns as a nurse, they're high priority on my list as soon as we get in there to make sure that everybody is safety is number one. Again, the priority has to be put back on the employee and not on the school board.
Yes, and thank you for saying that. I'm sorry, Frankie. Thank you for saying that, Mr. Elizondo, about that. This is not. This is just maybe what, a fourth, if not a tenth, of the issues and concerns. But these are the biggest ones because I mean this is like all of these basically have to do with dignity and respect for all and safety. So, those are basic human rights that anybody should be afforded. It's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, this is not that long of a list, but these are the ones that are major, major, major. We have so many others. Trust me, we have plenty. But these are the ones that are at the top of our list. So, thank you for mentioning that this is not it, because it's not.
That's right.
This is not the only thing.
We could be here all night.
Yes, we could. Be
Yeah.
And very, very quickly, I do accept and will adhere to those recommendations. We have seen how for far too long the culture at BISD has been fear, has been retaliation. Teachers are scared to speak up because they know in some way or another they're going to go after them, whether directly or indirectly. And I want to change that. That is one of my platforms. Having a background in education, I want the teachers, the staff, to feel that confidence, that comfort in myself to give any suggestions or recommendations. That is the only way that as a board member we can provide a better service to our community and to our district. So I happily accept and will adhere to these recommendations. And just like how was previously mentioned, there are so many, but safety, morale, and just giving individuals the peace of mind and respect that they deserve are very important for BISD moving forward.
Yes. Thank you so much. So these commitment forms will be sent to the candidates. We will be asking for their signature, and we will upload these onto our website alongside their questionnaires so that this will be easily accessible to our members. Ms. Ida, anything else?
No, just again, thank you for accepting that. The morale and things like that need to change in the district, and I'm hoping that is something that, along with the safety, of course, being first, but it's very important that we address the issue with the morale and disrespect of how the employees are being treated right now. And I have no shame in saying that it's coming right from the top, because that's what I have seen. And with the amount of members that I have spoken with, I can see where it's coming from, and it's coming from the superintendent. And we have tried to address that. And unfortunately, what we're seeing is how it's trickling down, and it's getting to the campuses and all other employees, and that's not right. We have so many good employees at BISD and lifetime employees that have committed their entire career to BISD, and to be disrespected at this point is not right and completely unacceptable. And it doesn't matter who you might be, you treat all employees with respect. and you behave properly in front of people. And we're seeing that that line is starting to get blurred already, and that can never be the normal at a workplace, not in a professional work setting. So again, we thank you. We congratulate each and every one of you. And like we said, we are going to be in touch, because this is where the work starts, and in starting to campaign for you, and starting we will have different days with you guys. We'll work out a schedule, but to have you on the show where hopefully by then we'll have technology issues taken care of because of the questions not popping up. We're probably going to have to do it like we did it for the forum, where they can submit questions to the phone.
Yeah.
Because all of this is still very new to us, or especially to me. But we'll address the issues and concerns like that, and you can address the public, and it'll be just focused on you. So we'll do one entire show, or maybe a half a show with each candidate, and gives you that opportunity to talk to our members and answer questions.
Yes.
But we will definitely be in touch.
So thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys back into the break room, or whatever you want to call it, the holding room. And if you guys want to stay and wait and listen, or you can watch us and add to our numbers, add to our views. But thank you so much for giving us the time. Thank you so much for giving us the time the day of the forum, because they were really long. Those days it was a couple of hours, over 2 hours, I think, actually, the night that you all were on. And so I just want to thank you so much for giving us the time, and for giving the people the time to listen to your platform and what it is that you stand for. So I truly appreciate your efforts, and I look forward to working with you and to making this run a good one. So cross our fingers, we'll get what we want, and we'll be contacting you soon to figure out how we're going to make this work through the pandemic, because block walking is not an option. And so we need to think outside of the box and figure out how we're going to get it done. So we will be contacting you and getting that information out with you guys. So thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and start trickling you down. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I think it also wants to talk, or is that a bye?
No, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Congratulations again, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, ladies.
I took Ida off by accident.
Hey.
Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make a comment, because one of the things that, and I can't really think, it was Mr. Elizondo said, kind of stuck to me a little bit. And Ida, you can chime in. He said we needed to be the example, right? Not be the followers or anything like that. And so I started thinking, when he said that, like, that's true. We need to be proactive. We need to be the example. And I'm going to fluff my feathers a little bit. And Ida, you can help me fluff them a little.
Fluff away.
We have been so proactive. We are being recognized nationally by our national affiliate, and all the things that we are doing here locally for our members. And so I started my candidacy in June, in the middle of the pandemic, which caused a lot of anxiety for myself, because this is my first time in a position at this level. And I've never lived through a pandemic. So this is another, it's new and it's hard, but we went at it full force, without fear. And we have been noticed, and Ida can tell you, because she sat in a meeting today, we have been noticed all the way at the national level for all the things that we are doing here to push and to fight for our members. And so when Mr. Elizondo said that, it resonated with me, because we are not waiting around for something else to happen. We're the first association that started a podcast. We're the first association that joined, and we did ask Mr. Castro to, you know, to use his platform to reach as many people as we could, because we wanted to know what it was that our members were needing. And then we started our own podcast, and we the first association to do a virtual forum. You know, so many firsts for us that we're being noticed all the way up there. And so I'm very happy with the fact that we had that Ida had that news for us today, that we were being noticed like that. And I just want to let you guys know that we're not going to stop. I know I may look young, but I'm not. And for those of you that know me, this association is not just an association for me. It was the heart and soul of my father, and so it has become that for me as well. So I will do whatever I have to do to make sure that you all have what you need. And comments and different things don't really affect me. I have a very thick skin. I was raised by a very strong mother who taught me to be strong, and so, you know, it's not, a lot of stuff doesn't really get to me. So you can keep the comments coming there. They don't hurt. And my father taught me a lot. And if you don't know who my father was, he was the president of AOB for many, many, many years. And I'm going to try not to cry my best. He was a teacher at Porter for many, many, many years. He loved his students. He loved his school. He loved his association. He was a warrior for public schools. He went nonstop. Even after he was sick and had his leg amputated, he still went nonstop. And so this isn't just, this means a lot to me. It's very personal to me, and you all are very personal to me. So I just want you guys to, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background and know that this is not just like, it's not for any personal gain, other than it was my father's heart and soul, and I just wanted to continue that for him. So very blessed, very honored, and very humbled to be in the position that he was in, and to know that we're being noticed nationally is a really big deal. And so just know that, like, we're making a difference, guys. It may not seem like it, but we really, really are. So I don't know if Ida, if you want to add anything to that.
Yes, definitely. I want to add something to that. It has been amazing just in this short time since you have stepped in, and with all the changes of this pandemic, it goes to show how you need to adapt with what's going on in the world today and the changes that are needed. And we didn't sit back to wait to see what was going to happen. We've been very vocal from the very beginning, and we did what we had to do to find a way to get our message out to our members. We couldn't keep up with the calls of how many members have concerns and issues, but it just goes to show what you have to do. You have to research what it is that you need to change to do what you do, and continue to bring that service to the people. And that's what we've been able to do. We have not only do we have amazing members, but our leaders, the president, and the different board of directors that we have been amazing. The hours that they give to the association is just amazing. I mean, the planning, the process to do all of this, to address all these issues, to be in compliance with the state. This isn't just something that we decide to do whatever we want. We have guidelines and bylaws that we have to adhere to, and to stay in compliance. So I'm very proud of the work that AOBE has done. I'm very proud of you Veronica as well. And your dad would be super proud to see how you had just jumped in, and you've taken some hits and things like that, as far as for being so outspoken. But I commend you on how bold you are, and you don't let that hold you back, because you know the reason for the association, and you're here to speak up for every member and address the issues. Even if, no matter what it is, we see how we can address it and how we can get it fixed. And we find ways to get it addressed. And we sometimes, at times, we don't get the credit, and we don't take the credit for everything. What we just want is the issue fixed and corrected. And so, and that takes a lot of hours, and that we are willing to put in, but we do what we can, and we're going to continue, and we're not going to stop. We're going to see what we need to do to work hard to get these candidates elected, because these are the candidates that our membership voted for. Every member was given the opportunity to see through the forum, to see how they answered the hard questions that were brought from our members that were emailed to us. So they answered those, and you guys voted. You guys voted to who you thought was going to be the best fit, who was the best prepared, who knew on the different topics. So I commend every candidate that was willing to show up and try to answer the questions. And like Mr. Rodriguez mentioned on Marisa, she did a good job. She showed up. She tried. So, it was a close number there, close race.
Very close.
Yeah, but that's where the votes showed. So we have to go with that, and we respect our members and what they want, and that's what they showed that they wanted. So we will continue to work hard along with our members. We need their help, because this election is a very important election, not only locally but everywhere, nationwide. We need to step up and let our vote be our voice.
Yeah.
Because these things that we're going through, the threats of funding for public education, the threats of that you have to work from the workplace and things like that are coming down from TEA, those are impacted by the elected officials, those choices. So that is why it is important to always make that effort to vote. But not only are we going to vote, we're going to make sure that we take other people and make sure that they go vote. It's going to be an election unlike no other.
Yes.
We're going to make sure our people and our family goes out to vote. Right. Because we have all been impacted by how this pandemic was handled at the local level, at the state level, and at the national level. We've all been impacted. I know personally, have lost several loved ones to this virus, and having to see funeral services virtually, because we're not allowed to be there for our family and grieving family members and friends. And some that might have been preventable had these elected officials taken different routes and taken action with their health in mind first. So let's not forget that. Let's not forget the fear that we've all felt. Let's not forget the anxiety, the depression that we're dealing with, and how it's impacting everyone. Let's not forget that, because that we're not sure, but we are pretty sure that it could have been different. It could have been handled different, and the results would have been different. But that's where your elected officials make a difference. And
Yeah.
we cannot afford to sit back, guys, because
No.
you know what? Our lives do depend on these elections. So we have to take action.
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to our vice president, Micaela. I mean, and one of the things that I really want to say is we lead by example, right? And so we as an association see our members as an asset, and we look for the strengths that we have and we use those. We're not we're not jealous, we're not threatened, we're not we're a family. We're united, we're together. And we couldn't be recognized nationally if it wasn't for the people helping us get that what we need to get done. And Micaela, I mean, wow. I can't even like wow. She is amazing with computers, which she probably should have been the one with the computer issues right now, right? But she's amazing with computers. She's amazing with spreadsheets. She's amazing with, all these different forms and different things that we're sending out, and how to calculate things, and to just different things like that. She's so knowledgeable with insurance. She's so knowledgeable with, she has so many certifications. She's got all, so I mean, we turn to her for so many things. And then, we have our treasurer, Elizabeth. Wow. Like, wow. Amazing with numbers. Like, there's no threat when it comes to our members in our association and who brings what to the table. Like, we love working with each other because we know that we are an amazing team. We have Laura and Miss Maria Fonseca. So all, these ladies, and we're all ladies. We are in a position of power, but we don't abuse it. We use it for good. We use it to help people. We use it to fight for what's right. And that's going to be, like I said, one of my new phrases, to fight for what is right, because my aunt also passed away from COVID on July 4th. And she would chant that with my aunt, with my cousin, walking around the house when she was younger, to fight for what was right. And so that, that's stuck with me, because that is what we do. That is what our association is. We fight for what is right for our people. We fight for what is right for the children, for the students. Without educators who are being treated fairly, who are being treated with respect, who are compensated correctly and equitably, you won't have a person who's going to be efficient in the classroom. And if we are already super efficient in the classroom, I can only imagine if everything was the way it should be, where we would be. We would be beyond the A. Like, we would be in the sky. So, that's what we're here for. And I just wanted you guys to know my reason for being in my position. There's no personal gain I've actually lost a couple of things, and Ida can attest to that. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the people who are afraid to speak for themselves, because I was taught that my voice matters and your voice matters, and I will be your voice if you don't want to speak or if you're afraid. So that's why we're here. And I see, again, our comments on the side, we're not getting all of them, but I do see Miss Nelda Rocha. We miss her terribly. Another very knowledgeable retired teacher, Miss Guadalupe Murillo. Same, very supportive, always had our backs, did everything they could when they were part of our association. They're both retired, enjoying retirement, so we miss them. But just know, guys, that our association, that's what we're about.
Yes, definitely. So we thank our members. We thank everyone for their support. We ask you to continue to hang in there. We know it's tough. We know everybody's feeling tired and defeated, and the school year has just started. But do know that, we are trying to address the issues, the different concerns that are going on right now. And we're going to do everything possible to resolve those. And we're going to do everything possible to get these candidates elected. Those were the choice that our membership had. And but we cannot do it alone. We need everybody's help on this, and everybody's family, and we need everyone to do their part. So, we're excited about this, and we need to do what we need to do to bring some positive change into
Yeah.
into BISD.
Definitely. And if you are interested in helping in any way with this, helping the candidates, please contact our office at 621-3010. The number's down there on the banner. Or you can email us at aobadvocate@gmail.com. We need all the help we can get, guys, especially right now in this pandemic when we're so restricted due to safety. And we're going to need all the help we can get. So anybody willing to help, members and non-members, will take help. We may be using you for calls, send out flyers, whatever the case may be. We're not even sure yet because we need to look at what would be the safest thing to do. Please call our office and let us know that you're willing to help. Like I said, even if you're not a member, we'll take the assistance. And for those of you who are our members, we would really appreciate it as well. It's going to affect us, guys. That's the main thing we need to understand, that our vote affects our pay. I mean, that's the bottom line. Our vote affects our pay. So please take the time to think about what you can offer us. And if you can bring family members, even if you call us and tell us where you're promising to bring 10 people to the polls, that's help. But again, please call our office or send us an email to let us know that you're ready and willing to help us with this race.
Definitely. And some of the events that we will be having that we're going to have coming up, and we'll be sending out the information to you all, is we are going to be in normal times when you're campaigning, we have like neighborhood gatherings or local gatherings like that to get to know your candidates. So we are going to be doing virtual gatherings. Okay, so what that is you send us an email. We set up the gathering for you, and we invite the candidates. So let's say, for example, if your family or your neighborhood or any type of gathering that you want to have and invite people to get to know the candidates, and if you have specific questions you want to address with them, you're able to do that. And those will be, they will not be aired publicly. Those are things, like, for example, if we have, for example, diagnosticians that have concerns, you can get a group of diagnosticians together and they can address the candidates with the different concerns that they're having. Same thing for the nurses. So we can do group meetings like that. So it's virtual gatherings that we'll be doing. And it's an opportunity to get to know your candidate. We're also going to be doing a voter registration drive-through. It is following all safety measures, and that is also to help our members or the community who have not registered to vote. That is very important. Sometimes there's people that have moved. So if you know people that are new to the valley or things like that, or if you know people who have not registered, we will be giving them an opportunity to register to vote. And like I said, it will be a drive-through, so we'll have all safety measures being followed for that. So we'll be sending out that information for our members. And we hope to get some good participation out of that. But especially, I think the virtual gatherings are going to be very important. Well, both events will be important, but the virtual gatherings, I think it's very important to address your concerns to the candidates. People do not know some of the issues that are going on if they're not addressed and if they're not voiced out. So that is very important. So you can email us at aobeadvocate@gmail if you have or want to set up a virtual gathering, and we can go ahead and check with the candidates to see when they would be available. And we're probably looking at setting up maybe like certain days only, so the candidates know to try to be available during those times, be it Tuesday and Thursday and things like that. But we're hoping that we can set up a few of those so our community, our members, and their family members can get to know these candidates and address issues. Okay, so I think for that's it for me on my part.
Yes, I think that's it. We thank you so much for all your time, for joining the show. We look forward to seeing you. Oh, one more thing you can see up here.
Oh yeah.
Everyone counts, guys. Make sure you're filling out your census. I want to say this, the last time I heard Brownsville was at like 60%. I want to say is what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't quote me on that. But please, please, please fill out your census. On the news yesterday, they were talking to a lady in Harlingen, and she was explaining how for every individual, we get money, and that money is to improve our city. So please, if you have not filled it out, fill it out. If you know somebody who hasn't filled it out, ask them to fill it out. Don't forget, everyone counts.
Definitely.
So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for your time. We appreciate all of those who submitted their ballots and used their voice. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Again, if you guys have any concerns or any questions, please call our office at 621-3010 or send us an email at aobeadvocate.com. We will be uploading the signed commitment forms to our AOBE website, which is myaobe.com. And you can also see on there the questionnaires and how the candidates answered. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you so much and have a good night. Bye-bye.